Alright, so this video is gonna be a little bit different from the usual war videos and such that I normally do, and this will hopefully be the start of a new series up on my channel, where I go over some of my more used champions and share any of the more advanced tips and tricks that I use myself to get the edge on the opponent, whether it be Alliance War, BGs, or just regular story content. The first champion in that list is gonna be none other than Valkyrie, who has quickly become one of my favorite champions in the whole game, mostly thanks to BitterSteels himself, who first showed me what she could do and how powerful she could be as well. Link to his channel is down in the description, so please do check him out. Now a quick disclaimer before we get started. This video is not a guide to Valkyrie. It is meant to help people take their Valkyrie gameplay to the next level by utilizing these more advanced tips and tricks. Lesson number 1 is gonna be forcing the opponent to block basic attacks. Now this is a very simple and a beginner friendly trick that most people who play Valkyrie already know, and this is a trick that can be used with any champion anywhere, and it's very useful. You should learn it if you haven't by now. But the reason I have included it in this video is that it is needed to set up another trick that I'm gonna be teaching you all later in the video. So this one is very simple. Simply put, as soon as the opponent dashes back, you throw a light attack into the air, and the opponent will either stand there and hold their block, allowing you to dash in and just start pounding into their block freely without worrying about having to bait any specials or getting intercepted. The AI will not do anything but hold their block. Now, another thing that can happen is that the AI will drop their block and start walking towards you without doing anything else, and that is something I like to call the parry walk. If you allow the opponent to walk all the way up towards you, right in front of your face, and you try to attack them, the opponent will try to parry you, so watch out for that. Now both of these setups allow you to just dash in to the opponent and start pounding into their block, even if they have specials ready, even if they look like they could try to intercept you. They will not, they will just put their block up and you are free to hit them into their block as much as you want. Now to show that the parry walk does actually work, I show it here. Throw the light, allow the opponent to walk up to you, and then if you try to attack them, they will parry you, which in itself is usually a bad thing, but that can also be used with other champions to set up some beneficial tricks as well, but that's not the point of this video. We are looking at Valkyrie today. Now one last thing to note here is that usually after I set up the parry walk by throwing the light attack into the air, I like to dash back first before dashing in. And I do that just to make sure that I actually set up the parry walk properly, because sometimes if something unexpected happens with the AI due to the opponent's own abilities or nodes interacting with their AI and making it slightly different, they might actually try to dash at you. But that has been extremely rare in my experience so far, so I would consider this very safe, and I use it myself in BGs and in Alliance War all the time, and it hasn't failed me yet. So that was lesson number 1, forcing the opponent to block your basic attacks, and at this point it's common knowledge, most people know about this, but I included it anyways, just to have it here in case some people don't know about it, and it is also necessary to know this before we head to lesson number 4 in the video. Now for lesson number 2, forcing the opponent to block your special attacks. And this is something that I see way too often when I see people using Valkyrie when they want to use their specials. They simply stop what they're doing, wait for the opponent to dash back by themselves and start holding their block, so they can go in and drop the special into the block. But that is a waste of time. Why wait for the opponent to do what you want them to do when you can force the opponent to do what you want them to do? And that is exactly what we're gonna do here. So to be able to drop your special into the opponent's block while keeping the flow of the fight going, you simply cut your combo short, dash back and throw the special quickly. Doing so allows the AI just enough time to react to your special, and they react to it by trying to save themselves by blocking. And with Valkyrie, that is exactly what you want, giving you full advantage of Valkyrie's abilities and the Fury passive you get on the special too. And this will also work with the special one as well. I am gonna show this in slow motion here, just so you can see what exactly I'm doing. I cut my combo short, and dash back and quickly drop the special, and the AI will stand there and start holding their block. And just like I said, special 1 works all the same, and this works with any champion in the game, but it's not that useful unless you're using someone like Valkyrie or Massacre. Now a few more times in slow motion, I cut my combo short and dash back and throw the special like I would when using Ghost with the Wasp synergy to get the full crits on the special. This forces the AI to hold their block, and it will work even against aggressive AI, and it is very consistent as long as you time it correctly. And that concludes lesson number 2. Forcing the opponent to block your special attacks. Now this is something that is probably the biggest time killer I have seen in BGs, so learning this one specifically is gonna be extremely useful in speeding those fights up. Now that you can effortlessly land all your specials into the opponent's block whenever you want, we get to lesson number 3, following up the special 2. Now whenever you drop your special 2 into the opponent's block, you gain a lot of distance to prevent yourself from getting comboed straight afterwards, but there is actually a single input that you can do here that allows you to effortlessly continue with the flow of the fight without having to start dashing around at all, and there are 3 variations of it. Every one of them starts with the same input. You simply just throw a light attack into the air as soon as the special is over, and that sets up everything else. The first variation here is the opponent just holds block, and your light attack sets up a perfect parry walk like we did in trick number 1, where you can simply just dash at the opponent and start pounding into their block without any risk of getting intercepted or the opponent using specials. This is the ideal situation, since you can immediately follow up the combo into the block while you still have the big Fury active from the special 2, which is Valkyrie's main source of damage. Then we have the second variation. Instead of holding block, the AI decides to dash at you immediately, in which case the light attack input straight after the special 2 sets you up with a perfect light intercept that you can continue however way you want. You can continue with the combo, dash away to try to set up parry walk, or however you want, made a special, it doesn't matter, but the point is you get to follow up your special 2 safely and consistently no matter what happens. Then we have the third and final variation, which usually happens against extremely aggressive AI like Terax during Rockfield, or Korg while he's unstoppable and unblockable, and that is that the AI stutters for a bit, trying to set up the parry walk, but since the opponent's AI doesn't allow them to stand there and hold block, they instead dash at you after a slight delay. Now this slight delay means that your light attack will not land you that perfect light intercept. All you need to do is just follow it up with a dash back into another light attack, and you are set up for a perfect shallow evade that you can continue however way you want once again, just like with the perfect light intercept. This is also extremely consistent and safe and has never failed me so far. So to wrap up lesson number 3, the key here is learning to recognize which variation the AI goes for, and since they all are set up the same way by throwing the light attack after the special 2, it gives you that slight bit of time to actually see what's going on and react accordingly, so it really isn't as difficult as it seems. This is extremely powerful and useful when using Valkyrie to get your fight time down in BGs and to just keep the flow of the fight going wherever you are fighting. And then we have arrived to the final lesson of this video. Lesson number 4, non-contact combo inversion. And yes, that is exactly as it sounds like. I figured out a way to actually consistently and safely invert your combo with Valkyrie without having to touch the opponent at all. You don't have to hit their block, you don't have to hit them directly, you don't need to make any contact to do this, and it is extremely powerful in situations where you don't want to hit the opponent for one reason or another. So normally to invert your combo with Valkyrie, you would finish your combo with your fourth light attack, either by hitting the opponent directly or hitting into their block and then following up with a special to save yourself from getting comboed. But this way you don't have to do either. You don't have to touch the opponent and you don't have to use a special to save yourself. And that makes it very powerful. To do this, we are gonna be utilizing the parry walk setup from lesson number 1, but taking it further by spamming multiple light attacks into the air. As soon as you throw your fourth light attack, your combo is inverted without ever having to touch your opponent, and that's all you need to do. The AI will not try to attack you, they will not throw their specials, they simply just stutter in place, spam their block, as if they are trying to parry you from the other side of the screen. Now, one final thing to note here, do not try to follow this up with another combo immediately afterwards. Since this does also set up the parry walk, the opponent will try to parry you immediately if you follow it up with another combo. Just dash back first before dashing in to start hitting the opponent's block. And that concludes lesson number 4, the non-contact combo inversion. And while this is an extremely powerful trick whenever you want to stack up your bulwarks, but don't want to or can't hit the opponent, there really isn't any way to revert your combo back to normal by doing something similar, simply because you can't do your first medium attack without dashing at the opponent. Unless... well, probably not. And that marks the end of the first video of this series, and I really hope that it allows you to take that one step forward towards mastering Valkyrie.